Tonight we're here with Joanna Murray from the Kirkwall Police Station, Caroline MacLeod from Scottish Ambulance Service and Mick Harkis from the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service. They're each going to say a little about what it's like when you're actually called out to a road traffic accident. So, whichever one of you would like to start, just in your own words.
I'll go first. There's a lot of thoughts rushing through your head when you're on your way to RTC. You're wondering exactly how bad it is, how many cars are involved, if, is anybody hurt. You might have so little detail when you initially attend. Other cases, there's about 6 or 7 calls coming at once about the same accident. So you're just coming up with a plan in your head about how you're going to deal with the situation, possible diversions that you can put in place, additional staff that might be required. You're also thinking, and I suppose maybe selfishly, you hope and you pray that it's nobody that you know, and it's none of your family. I think we all think that. Yeah, when we arrive, it's a very quick assessment of what's going on. We check for the casualties. If there's loud casualties, we tend to leave them and see to the quieter ones, see what sort of injuries that they have. If we're needing to try and start CPR if the ambulance service aren't there. Going through your head is just, how do we deal with this the best that we possibly can? Preserve the scene by closing the roads, getting details of witnesses, so that we can, put a report together to the Procurator Fiscal with the circumstances of that accident, or the collision, I should say. We also then have to, once everything's tidied up there, if it is a fatal, it's the police's duty then to go and notify the family about what's happened, take statements from the family, take family to the mortuary to actually formally identify the body of what could be, their son or their daughter. So, it's not a great job when it comes to that. So, this is why we do the education programme, because we want to reduce the number of times that we're called to these sort of collisions.
And after yourself, when you're presumably normally first on the scene, then second on the scene, would hopefully be the ambulance. If you would like to just say something about what it's like to arrive as the paramedic.
We are quite often on scene after the police, occasionally beforehand. There is no set criteria for how we arrive. It depends how we get called out. We would hope that en route we have some contact with our control room to let us know with updates of numbers of casualties, because as I said to the students, there's often only one vehicle and one crew on duty here, and if there are a lot of casualties, then obviously we want to try and get extra crew called out from home. It's not always possible, but they do try. We consider what we're going to have to face, what we're going to deal with, again looking for what the accidents are, what the injuries are, and trying to make the best plan and the best treatment options for these casualties.
And then obviously you would need to be notifying the hospital in advance as well, for them to be able to receive you.
We have a lot of contact with the trauma team, the retrieval team from South. They want to know if they are going to have to come up with the aircraft to relocate badly injured casualties south. But we also do get in touch with the hospital as we're making our way in with what we call a pre-alert, so they know what's coming in and how many staff they're going to need to deal with it, so they can call in off-duty staff as well.
Keep it all fluent. And Mick, yourself, what actually happens when the fire and rescue are called out?
Yeah, well, hopefully when we're called, or if we are called, the ambulance and the police are already there. That's kind of our best thing. If they're there, they can be dealing with a lot of it. Unlike the police and the ambulance, we can have 12 or 14 people going to that incident, so there's a bigger chance of one of them being related or we know them. As soon as your pager goes off and you find out it is an RTC, I think fear is the biggest thing that goes through my mind. Fear that my daughter, my son, driving now, a lot of my relations, a lot of my friends and things through my children driving, there is quite a high possibility it's somebody that we could be close to. especially in Orkney.
It's such a small community.
Yeah, but you just have to kind of put that back to the back of your mind, and as I say, hopefully the police will be there and dealing with a lot of it, and Caroline and our colleagues will be there sorting out the mess that
And it will be a mess, that's the thing, that's what people need to realise, it is a mess.
Yes,
And when
I think more so them vehicles nowadays, they're designed to look a lot worse than what they are. They've got that many crumple zones, and there's loads of airbags and just safe systems in a car now. So hopefully they'll all deploy and casualties are not got as much damage to them as what they would have done quite a few years ago.
We're certainly seeing less bad injuries than we used to. Cars are better constructed, but that doesn't alter the fact that you still do get some pretty horrific injuries.
Oh yeah, that's and you have to deal with that at the time. And as I said to the students in this evening, the worst time is when you're spending time on your own, when everybody else is away sleeping. That's when it kind of hits you the hardest, because you know you're not going to get to sleep. You know that you're always thinking, is there something I could have done better? Is there something I could have done that maybe would have saved that people? If it's a fatality, they'll probably die before we even get there, really. But hopefully,
I think that's why it's so important that we do this programme, and it's been changed to be, you know, more hard hitting for kids and stuff like that, because we know that young folk and older folk are, you know, they might be speeding or, you know, distracted when they're driving, they might be showing off. If we can get that sort of the message out there to everybody that, you know, it can be prevented if you drive sensibly, you know.
I think more often than not, historically, that if there was an accident in Orkney, people do slow down for 2 or 3 months, because it's all kind of fresh in everybody's minds. But then after that wee bit of time has elapsed, then they go back to being, I'm invincible, really. I can go that wee bit faster.
And of course, the worst thing these days is mobile phones. If folk would put them on silent or put them in the back seat or something, but there's always that chirp with youngsters. They're always waiting for a male or female to get in touch with them, and the phone bleeps, and it's so important right now, I must answer that message. And no, you don't.
Is that because you didn't have a mobile when you were in school?
I didn't invent it.
I think the difficulty that we have locally as well is the geography that we have, and we know, you know, that there's drivers, young drivers out in the Isles and stuff like that, and that, you know, they might get into bother out there. And that's an awful distance for the police to get there quickly and to deal with it, and you know, it can be an absolute nightmare. So it's up to parents as well, you know, educate your kids well so that they're safe and sensible on the roads.
I mean, it's such a temptation, I know that myself, from, you can see the roads and you just see straights and straights and straights here. And I mean, I remember years ago going to a funeral, and it was a road traffic accident funeral, and it was a road traffic accident funeral, and I remember the cars going past us to this funeral, thinking, you would think one of them would be remembering the nature of the funeral we're actually going to.
I think unfamiliar roads as well. You drive in Orkney, you're driving the same road pretty much every day, and most days nothing's going to happen, but there might be that one day that something pulls out in front of you, a tractor or an animal running across the road, and you take it for granted that, oh, nothing's ever happened on this road before, and then something might.
It might. Well, all I'm going to say now is thank you very much on behalf of Orkney News, and keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.